Hi, John here. Okay, so I ordered some Mungyo oil pastels from eBay, I believe, and when they arrived, they were very damaged. It looked as if they'd been sat on top of a heater, or even half the box had been sat on top of a heater, and that basically they'd melted. They've become drier, and they have become like a melted candle. I'll show you the picture in a second. But the question is, can you still use them? Okay, so here's the oil pastels. Look at that mess. That's how they arrived. So obviously someone has probably misstored them, put them on a heater. I mean, these two are even fused together. So what it looks like to me is that all the oil has come out of them and melted. They've melted, and it's caused them to become very brittle, very flaky, and you would think of no use. But let's have a look. Let's see if they are of use. So here's my trusty piece of paper. I'm now getting to the end of it. Here's one colour. So it's going on. It feels very soft and very flaky, which I expect you would expect. If I press a little bit harder, you'll see, look, all the crumbs are coming off. Let me just zoom in a bit. So you'll see all the crumbs are coming off. So there's obviously damage there. If you press a little bit lighter, it will work a bit better, but you're still getting all this flakiness. So there's obviously damage to the oil pastel. Let's try another one. Let's try a lighter colour. Not too light though, because I want you to be able to see it. So let's try this green. Again, it's feeling the same. There was an initial bit of transparency there. I think that's probably where that part there may have touched the paper. So again, it's kind of sticky, kind of dry. That sounds a bit contradictory, but believe me, it's got a funny texture. It's got this stickiness when you're colouring with it, but it also feels drier than it should. So will they blend? Let's have a look. Yeah, they'll do everything you want by the look of it. Let's see if we can blend a colour into that. I'm using my fingers, aren't I? Let's use my cotton bud, because I do not agree with using fingers. Mind you, I didn't get any pilling, so that was good. Right, so yeah, it's kind of looking like we could use them. Okay, let's just have a look at this one. Now this one I didn't do with my fingers, did I? And now I'm blending with the cotton bud, and it seems to be a lot more difficult. So maybe, in this case, maybe it is better to just blend with your fingers. It seems to me like getting them hot and having them dry out a bit has made them very much more blendable by fingers. Very much more so, in fact. That's very strange. Well, that's something we could perhaps use to our advantage. We could perhaps make the pastels very warm and then spread them with our fingers in larger areas, perhaps. There's a little bit, I mean, I've pressed really hard now, but there is a little tiny bit of pilling. Okay, let's have a look at what it does with a bit of mineral spirits on it. Okay, we'll do this one first. I've blended it first. Yeah, it's making it... It's not so good with the mineral spirits, I don't think, and that could be because there's no oil in it. Perhaps. Let's just try... I'm going to use an old cotton bud here that I've used for a previous video. Let's try this bit up here. Be very gentle. Yeah, I wouldn't suggest if using mineral spirits on them. I just think that that would end up causing a gloopy mess. It's working, but I think you'd have to be very experienced to pull it off, if I'm being perfectly honest. So, yeah. What's the conclusion? So one more look. Look at the mess. I mean, isn't this ridiculous? Have you ever seen anything like it? Very funny. Okay, so that was just a very quick video because I just wanted to show you them damaged pastels. It's good because I can just break them down and use them as and when. I think to do a proper drawing I'm not going to use them. What I may do is break them down and put a little bit of spirits in with them into little pots and turn them into paint, just for details. But if I wanted to, I could perhaps use my fingers. So yeah, they're usable. They're definitely usable. So if you get anything like that, don't worry too much. Don't get too upset about it. You can use them. Just be aware that they probably have slightly less oil in them, which is not always a bad thing, but they do need some oil in them. And it just makes them a little bit drier, a little bit flakier. But they do manoeuvre quite well. It's just, you'd have to experience it. I've shown you on these pieces of paper, it's given you some idea. You can use damaged pastels, and don't be afraid of them. Anyway, for another video, whomever, wherever you are, and I mean this, have a great day, a great week, and a great year. And be kind. Bye for now.